3 things you might not know about Steve Miller. Steve's godfather was frickin' Les Paul. Steve's mother was a jazz singer and his dad was a pathologist, someone who studies disease. But he really loved music, so much so, he had a recording studio set up in their house. Steve's parents were friends with Les Paul and Mary Ford. His dad was Les Paul's best man in their wedding and his mom the maid of honor. Les and Mary would often be hanging out at the Millers' house when they lived in Milwaukee, and Les encouraged Steve to follow his passion for guitar. 2. They moved to Dallas, Texas, and Steve's dad had a studio set up in their house, and that's where Steve picked up his blues influence. Artists like Charles Mingus and T-Bone Walker would come over to the house to record and hang out, and it's T-Bone that taught Steve a few guitar tricks, like playing with his teeth. One of Steve's classmates in Texas was Bos Skaggs, and they had a band together when they were in high school. Side note, Steve got kicked out of that high school for having a bad attitude and running an underground newspaper. After college, and he was only 6 credits away from a literature degree, mind you, he felt compelled to move to Chicago, and so he did. It's there he got a bigger blues influence, jamming with guys like Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, and Buddy Guy. 3. Paul McCartney played bass, drums, and backup vocals on 2 Steve Miller Band songs, My Dark Hour and Celebration Song. He used the code name Paul Ramone, the same alias he used while on tour in Scotland with the Silver Beatles in 1960. My Dark Hour happened in May of 1969 when Paul and the rest of the Beatles were disagreeing about appointing Alan Klein as their financial manager. They were at Olympic Studios, and so was Steve Miller Band, and when John, George, and Ringo left, Paul popped in on Steve and said, "Hi, how you doing? Is the studio free?" Steve said, "Well, it looks like it is now, mate," and Paul and Steve Miller came up with the song My Dark Hour, and Paul started drumming. He says he needed to do something, thrash something, to get it out of his system. Drum therapy at its finest. Thanks for watching, thanks for following. Cheers.